This is TWiT.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to TWiT, your tech hub for intelligent, thoughtful conversations. If you want to take your experience to the next level and support what we do here at TWiT, say goodbye to ads and say hello to Club TWiT. With Club TWiT, you unlock all our shows ad-free. You also get exclusive members-only content. We do a lot of great programming just for the club members. You also get behind-the-scenes access with our TWiT Plus bonus feed and live video streams while we're recording. And don't forget the fantastic members-only Discord. It's where passionate tech fans like you and me hang out, swap ideas, and connect directly with all of our hosts. It's my favorite social network. I think you'll like it too. Club TWiT. It's not just a subscription. It's how you support what we do and become part of the TWiT family. Your membership directly supports the network, helping us stay independent and keep making the shows you love. If you're ready to upgrade your tech podcast experience, head to twit.tv/Club TWiT and join us today. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the club.
Hello, everybody. We're getting ready for our AI user group in about half an hour. I'm right now just doing something I'm going to deeply regret, which is having Claude Code go through my Obsidian folder and reorganize it based on a prompt that I got from Reddit. So what could possibly go wrong? I made a copy before I did it, and so did, interestingly, Claude Code. This is the prompt. Yeah, of course I did, Lawrence, or Larry. You will analyze a provided knowledge base structure and notes to create improvements. And then apparently it wants to use, well, he told it to use the para method, which I'm not that organized. He actually imposed on it in this prompt a lot of stuff that I probably wouldn't be happy with, but I'm just curious what'll happen. And in a second, I'll open Obsidian and see what's happened. This should be really interesting. It completely reorganized all the content. Did it pretty quickly, too. This is a total of 270 seconds so far, which is less than 5 minutes. I have search. Are you talking about in Obsidian? Yeah, I have search, OmniSearch, and I use OmniSearch. But I like the folders because it just gets notes out of the way where I want them to be. What is this? To memorize shortcut. Huh. Now it's making an implementation guide, so I have a manual for my new thing. Larry, do you use Obsidian? So I would have showed you my old Obsidian, but if I launch it now, I'll get the new one. Let me let this continue. So I have a daily notes folder, which is divided into year, months, day, and then day. Each day of the month has its own file. That's mostly what I do in Obsidian. And then in those daily notes, if I think of something, I link to it. So the notes themselves aren't very hierarchical. Okay. Master Index Implementation Guide, updated Claude MD. Okay. First of all, I'm going to exit, because every time I use Claude, it says, oh, update applied. So let me, this is going to be interesting. Let me just open Obsidian. Go home. Okay. Fold that up. Let's look at the folder structure. Oh yeah, look at that. Inbox, active, resources, archive. Oh, it's interesting. It kept this. See, so these are the folders below here that I usually have. Daily notes, drawings, family, games, health, home, money, piano. So piano had in it. And actually, this is also typical of daily notes. See, this is by year. And then each year has by months. And since we're brand new in August, there's the first thing in August. But oops. Here's all of the July stuff. I should move this. This is a recipe. Well, let me see first what he did. So inbox. So this is a mock. I think he made an MOC. It didn't do anything. There's nothing in it. Here we go. Active. Family health. Money projects. Tech. Tech dashboard. This is the mock. Quick links. So this is using data view probably to make a... Yeah. There's a data view error, so... Not such a good job there, young man. Let's look at my reading. Books. Oh, see, it didn't do anything for that. Yeah, this is kind of a fail. Meta. Vault Master Index. Oh, let's see my health dashboard. Fail. Yeah. All right. So much for that. Let me. I better fix this before it syncs to all my systems. In fact, I should have turned off sync before I did this. Fortunately. First of all, let's delete Obsidian. Make the Obsidian copy my Obsidian. I wonder if this sync is going to make me a problem here. Okay, and this is the backup that it made, so at least that's there. And this still has Claude MD in it. I'm going to delete that just so I don't have that sync. Okay, let's go back to my Obsidian. Should be back to normal. That's... Yeah, looks like it's back to normal. So see, I have my piano lessons in here. It's a very hierarchical, but I can use OmniSearch to find what I want. So it's not... Oh, that's not good. Let's close that. That is not good. There is a daily note from today. Let's go. Oh, it's syncing. That's what it is. Let's delete that. That's not what I... Well, oh well. Maybe I've ruined my... Yeah, Eric, if you go to the Discord... So there's a couple of things you can do. If you don't want to be in the Discord, which I understand some people don't want to do, you can subscribe to the newsletter, which will tell you what's coming up this week. But if you go to the Club TWiT Discord, you'll see this events. And everything we're going to do is listed here. Everything that's scheduled anyway is listed here. Hello, Ernesto. So we got the book club coming up a week from today, as well as Chris's photo time. August 20th, the Pixel 10 release from Google, and August 20th, Micah's Crafting Corner. So these are all in your Discord. Your Discord is your ultimate resource. Yeah, we could have a Google Calendar, I guess. I think, the problem with Discord. Nice. And I like it that you got your keyboards there. Very nice. So you just turn to the right and there's your keyboard, huh? Nice. I have just started to put together my repertoire of pieces because I'm brand new. I started with a teacher in January, so I'm brand new, and I guess I can stop this. I forgot I was playing it, and so I'm just getting to the part where I'm starting to learn like I could play something that I could actually have somebody listen to. Especially once we've started doing blues and jazz stuff. So we're using the Alfred Piano for Adults, Book 1. And I have about 5 or 6 pieces that I've learned so far that I like enough to say, yeah, I could practice these and learn to play them. Oh, you play the guitar too? So I wish as a younger man I had taken music more seriously because I really love music. But it's been most of my life as a listener. But now I'm starting to play. It's hard. It's not easy. Look at this shirt. This was a recommendation. I think, who found this? Scooter X or Paul? I think Paul Holder found this. Ready? Get ready. Here comes my shirt. It's the sunrise. Yes, it's a cat with a beer riding a dinosaur. Now, I hope if somebody understands Japanese, they will translate, because I hope this doesn't say stupid American or something like that. But yeah, I love this shirt. It's my new shirt. We're having dinner with Sam Abul Samad and his wife tonight. He's in town for another Arto trial, and we're going to our favorite steakhouse, and I'm going to wear this. Thought it'd be fun, and I'm wearing it for the AI user group, which isn't going to start for another 20 minutes. But you, those of you who came early, saw me completely screw up my Obsidian with Claude Code, so that's pretty cool. Oh, drums. Yeah, well, see, eDrum's smart because you can wear headphones. And I got instead of buying a piano, which I would love to have a real piano, my teacher has a grand piano, but I bought a Korg on Benito's recommendation. Benito's a piano wizard. And on Benito's recommendation, I got the Korg Grand Stage, which is ridiculously overpriced for somebody just learning the piano. But I wanted to have something with weighted keys, 88 keys. And I kind of like the idea of a bunch of voices, even though I just pretty much stick with the piano voice. But I can wear the main reason to have a digital keyboard is so I can wear headphones. But Lisa says she likes hearing me tinkle away, even though I play the same song ad nauseum, over and over and over and over. Over and over and over. Yeah, and I did in fact buy a MIDI to Bluetooth plug-in for the MIDI thing on the back, and that pairs with my iPad. I took one of my older iPads, dedicated it to the piano, and I'm also using a really nice piece of software called Piano Marvel that sees my keyboard. So when I'm learning a piece, one of the things I can do is pull it up in Piano Marvel. They have the Alfred pieces, all the Alfred pieces. And it has it chops it up into little bits, so you learn the left hand and the right. Actually, learn the first bar in the left hand, the first bar in the right hand. Then you put them together, slow, medium, full speed. And it also has two modes. One where there's no timer; you're just playing the notes, and if you play the notes right, it lights them up, and if you don't, it keeps track of what you misplayed and gives you a report and a score. So it's a good way to first. So what I do is I fire that up first, learn the notes, because I can't sight read yet. I can sight read really, really slowly. G, that's a G, right? And then there's a B flat. So I piece that together slowly and then play it, one note at a time. And then I speed up my teacher says slow practice makes perfect performance. She says slow. She says Claudio Arau will play one note for a second and then the next note. So she makes me do it really, really slowly. That's why it's good to have a teacher. So I do it really, really slowly and speed up. And eventually I memorize it because I can't read it fast enough to play it. So I have to read it at slow speed and then memorize it and then play it. It's really fun. It's really fun. I love it. When I was a kid, I learned guitar, Larry, and but I'm a lefty, and my parents were cheap, so they bought me an old normal guitar, which they restrung for a lefty, and then restrung it with steel strings, which was a huge mistake because it was a kind of crappy old guitar with a very high bridge, and so my fingers got blistered right away, and I said, I don't like this, and I stopped. Plus, I didn't really want to play Camptown Races over and over. Hi, Anthony. I got really sick of Camptown Races. Camptown ladies sing this song, doo-dah, doo-dah. But I knew going into piano that would be my fate, that I'd be playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and a lot of, Itsy Bitsy Spider at first. So I'm very grateful that now I've gotten something a little bit more sophisticated. The next piece I have to learn before my teacher gets back on Thursday is a Little Brown Jug. But I did learn a really fun jazz piece called Good People that has call response and a lot of accidentals, a lot of sharps and flats and an eighth, swinging eighth notes and stuff. And I really enjoy that.
I like your matrix code, Leo.
You like that? Isn't that cool? I had to search around for that.
Hop in early.
Well, I thought it was at 1, so I was here at 1, and I thought after about half an hour of just kind of sitting here, I thought, well, I knew it was, I sat down and I saw, it's at 2. So It wasn't like but I thought, well, I'll turn it on and I can talk to people. And then I foolishly, and Larry saw this, said, well, as long as I'm sitting here, I'll have Claude Code rejigger my Obsidian folders. Which it did. It was, I made a backup before I did it, and it made a backup. So maybe I didn't like what it did at all, but it came from a prompt that I found on Reddit, which of course, that's famous last words, isn't it? I saw it on Reddit. This guy said, Claude Code organized my notes. Yay. And then I didn't even look at the graph, the knowledge graph after the organization. But what I realized is the prompt of his that I just copied had a lot of things that I wouldn't want to do. And some of the code that Claude wrote broke. So I just deleted the thing it did. And it made a good backup too before we started. So the topic, what is the topic for today?
I don't know. It depends if Alex is going to show.
I asked Alex if he wanted to come by and show us how he does Midjourney, which I've been asking him since we started the AI user group. He said he might.
Yeah. Also, I was going to start moving these to the Leo Studio thing. So I gave Alex the wrong link. I need to fix that.
Oh, well, why don't you send him a new one? That might be a little prod. Yeah, I didn't know where it was, so I wandered around until I found it. I think I found the right spot. The only thing I didn't change is, before I started the stream, is the numbering in the chat stream. Can you fix that without restarting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me email Alex first.
Yeah, do that first. That's more important. The Google Calendar situation has been solved. Did you create a Google Calendar for us? There was a demand from...
it's on the calendar. It's been on there.
Oh, nice. I didn't know it was on the calendar. Where is it on the calendar? It's just on our regular calendar?
Yeah, the regular one.
Oh, okay. Look at that. Look at that. Larry, you must be a real talented musician. So, on Intelligent Machines on Wednesday, or maybe it was on TWiT on Sunday. Probably, I think it was TWiT. Oh, no, it was MacBreak Weekly because we were talking about Apple TV because Rhea Seahorn has a new show on Apple TV, a kind of a sci-fi show. And they put out a very weird trailer where she's licking donuts. But I'm a fan of hers because she was amazing in Better Call Saul. And I called her Rhea Seahorn. And I got an email from somebody who said, it's pronounced Rhea. I said, oh, okay. So, sometimes people pronounce it Rhea, sometimes Rhea. Thank you for the correction. He said, you didn't ask how I know. I said, okay, I'll bite. How do you know? He says, because I was in it. I said, wait a minute. And then I looked at his name and I said, oh my God. He is, I'll show you. You will recognize him immediately. He's a very well-known character actor, does a lot of audiobooks, a lot of really good audiobooks. And I guess he listens to MacBreak Weekly. So, or maybe I don't know, maybe Rhea called him and said, hey, can you get those guys to say my name? I don't know how it happened. But his name is Dennis Boutsikaris, and I'll show you his IMDb because you'll recognize him immediately. He plays in Better Call Saul. He plays one of the partners in the law firm. You could tell me. I can't. I immediately know his face. Here. This guy. Right? Isn't he the guy, the head of the law firm? But he's been in so many things. Yeah, there he is in Better Call Saul. He was in Sugar too, which I loved. There he is with Rhea Seahorn. So anyway, I said, "Wow, I'm a fan." He's been in you recognize him, right? I mean, he's in so many. He's kind of one of these great character actors. It's Matlock. I didn't see this, but it looks good. Salvation. I like how it looks. I don't know. It must be sci-fi, right? Guy rocks a great goatee. I guess he's had a goatee his whole life. Now he can't shave it, right? There he is in Quantico. Can't shave it. Better Call Saul. Anyway. Yeah, so I said Rhea because there he is in The Good Wife with the goatee. Here he is, a young man in Monk 23 years ago. How did that happen 23 years ago? There he is with the wonderful Christine Baranski. I'm probably saying that wrong too. Christine Baranski. There he is, really young, with my favorite Martian, with Jessica Tandy. And Hume Cronin. That's not my favorite Martian. It's Hume Cronin, her husband. There he is with in the Dream Team. With what's his name? Christopher Lloyd. And Michael Keaton. There he is. He did a lot. He has a number of Obies. He does a lot of Broadway stuff. There he is with Neil Simon. So anyway, I'm kind of snowed, and now I know it's Rhea. I should ask him if he's a club member. Come on in. Join the club. Love to have you. I give him an honorary membership.
Okay. So what are you interested in, Leo? What should I load up behind the scenes? What do you want to look at?
For you?
Yeah, in general. Or like, do you want to talk running local, like texts or image
What
stuff?
do you mean? What do you mean like the chat? What you talking about?
Or both of you? I don't know. What are we going to talk about? I need to like load some apps up if we're going to.
I don't know what we're doing.
Okay.
Who's going to join us and what are you going to talk about?
I don't know. I
the
put
show,
the link.
it's all on your shoulders, club.
Yep.
We got nothing planned, and if Alex Lindsay doesn't show up, we're screwed.
Well, I mean, not screwed.
No,
but
we're not screwed. we talk about whatever you want to talk about. I showed you how I destroyed my Obsidian.
Yeah.
5 years of Obsidian down the drain with Claude Code. Now it's your turn. I'll give him a free membership. I will offer him a free membership because I think we need more celebrities in the club. You want to know why your WP converter isn't working in WordPress? Now, did you vibe code it? Because if you did, then... Yeah, the image, that's what I thought. And, you know, we've had Anthony show his... The other thing I could do is talk about the new AI pins, because I got two of them. I got the Omi, and I got the Limitless. This is the Omi. This is the one that they said, someday you'll glue this to your forehead and or your temple, and you'll have a buddy. And this actually is doing a pretty good job. I can't, unfortunately, because I upgraded my iPhone to 26, and my Mac is not yet updated, so I can't do iPhone Viewer on the Mac. It won't. It says, "You guys, what's wrong with your phone, man? Maybe I should just upgrade my Mac." What else can we destroy with Claude Code? Yeah, let's do it. Oh, I got to show you. Paul Holder recommended this shirt. Look at this, Anthony.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Somebody has to tell me what the Japanese says, though. Because it probably says, "Stupid American, you bought this shirt."
All right, someone joined us. Who's that?
Yeah, I decided to join you. LRAU.
Hey! It's
Hey.
LRAU, Laurentium Gold.
Yes.
Nice to see you. I am very proud of myself for saying...
You're one of the few people who actually got it on the first try.
I looked at it and I thought, I didn't know what LR was, but I said, let me look up LR because AU's gold. Maybe his last name's Gold and his first name is Larry. Do you use Larry or Lawrence?
I use Larry. Yeah, absolutely.
Larry. I like how you say it. Larry. Where are you from, Larry?
New Jersey.
Of course you're from New Jersey.
Yes.
Of course you are, Larry. Anyway, hey, great to see you. So,
hold on,
musician? Are you a professional musician?
Here, I've got my Salt Hank book with me.
Oh, yeah, baby. That is awesome.
Well, it's really scary because somewhere in my basement, I have a TiVo from DirecTV when you're on Tech TV.
That has how many episodes?
That should have a recording of it somewhere. Yeah. I don't think it works anymore. Well,
no, I'm sure it doesn't. If you knew what generation it was, they put strong encryption on it later, and
it was the first gen.
We can get it off. You can. I wrote a book.
You wrote a book? Yeah, I know. I have some of them.
Wait a minute. You need this.
No, but it was the DirecTV ones.
This describes how to crack that TiVo. But it only covers the first generation because once they figured out people were using tools to crack it, they put some hardcore encryption on it.
Yeah.
It does come with its very own CD. If you only had some way to play it.
Oh, I'm sure I have CD players somewhere.
This was, we got a lot of help. First of all, Gareth Branwyn really wrote it. I just put my name on it. But we got a lot of help from this company that specialized in fixing TiVos, or more like upgrading TiVos. Yeah. They would take those Series 1s and put much bigger hard drives in it. And I wonder if they're still around. This is an important appendix. Appendix B. You gotta read the appendix B. Yeah. It says common Linux commands. What follows is a rundown of some of the basic commands you'll need to make your way around Linux and therefore the command line side of TiVo. Because you can, to that old one, hook up to it.
Yeah.
But you could also take the hard drive out because it's theoretically encrypted. It's not really encrypted. Yeah.
Well, it was poor encryption. It wasn't very strong. Yeah.
So, yeah. Wow. I should just send you a copy of this book and you could send me. How many episodes you think are on there?
Oh, I have no idea. I remember it's so long ago.
Right. It's 25 years ago, baby.
The one episode I know I recorded on a different one, but that one just completely died, was the Steve Mitnick and what's his name?
Kevin Mitnick. Yeah.
Kevin Mitnick and Wozniak episode. Yeah, and that was one of my favorite episodes. And
that was a great one because that was where Kevin finally got to use the internet.
Yeah. What I thought is both of them were just so awestruck about each other.
Yeah, wasn't that cool?
That was wild.
And then they hosted the show. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one they.
Oh, they were so awful. It was good. I was glad they were so bad because it reassured me about my future in television. But Weak Knees. That's it. Are they still around, WatchFan? That's cool. So, Larry, are you a professional musician or just a hobbyist?
No. That's a hobby.
Wow.
I grew up playing piano. I didn't take guitar to my 30s.
Oh, nice.
So
was it easier because you knew piano?
I think it was easier just for like some of the music understanding pieces, but not easier to learn to play. I've got very small hands, which is why the synths I have are very small keys. So I don't have a full octave range when I do a regular piano.
I'm jealous because I would like to be able to find a portable keyboard. But my fat fingers can't.
Yeah, I know.
I can do an octave. That's not a problem. But my fingers are fat, so I can't. In fact, it's hard for me when it goes from a white key to a black key to the white key jammed in next to the black. My teacher said, no, you gotta jam it in there. I can't fit it.
See, if I would teach you, I'd be like, no, just figure out how to play it faster. Just learn to move your fingers and move it down and cheat. Yeah,
she did say I could slide down off the black key onto the white key. She said, you're allowed to do that. I said, good, that'll help. That's a good one.
I would do that. I grew up actually working in a musical instrument store teaching when I was younger too, and the kids were little, and you taught them tricks like that because their hands weren't big enough.
Yeah.
Right, and the odds of anyone being a really great musician was so low that you just wanted them to enjoy playing, so they didn't quit.
Yes, they should enjoy it. Exactly.
My theory,
that's a really good way to put it.
If someone's doing something that you teach them to their 50, 60, 70, you did the right thing, and that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
nice. And so I still play music because I enjoy it, and I don't have to be the greatest. I just have to enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, for me, it's amazing. It's so much fun. In some ways, it spoils the mystique of music, though, because you kind of start to realize, first of all, how repetitive everything is. A song is the same thing, repeated 3 times with a bridge. I mean, it's not. So it kind of takes some of the magic out of it, but then it doesn't. And once you start playing it, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, poor Kevin, another person who died of pancreatic cancer. It's kind of a weird thing. Yes, Benito says no. That's the magic of music. Yes, you're right, Benito.
Well, what I think it's amazing is just with as you learn, there's only so many notes. How many songs are played with so few notes?
Oh yeah.
Right. And
I'm glad because
magic goes the other way,
I'm glad because I'm learning a song now where, when you first start, everything's in the C, is middle C, and it's so easy, right? Yeah. And then now I'm learning a song where my left hand is in lower G scale, my right hand's in the upper G, and then it's going up and down, and it's like, oh, yeah. And the other day I had a song where you cross over, and I thought, what the hell? Who thought this up? But it makes me feel good, like, oh, you're starting to learn how to play piano. That's cool.
But I am a vibe coder. I've been actually writing about vibe coding since 2022. My first
writing about it since. Wait a minute, there was no vibe coding in 2022.
So yeah, there was. So what I wrote is that on my
You're talking
blog.
low code, no code kind of thing?
I called it the new pair programming paradigm. It wasn't called vibe coding. What I called it is pair programming paradigm.
And you're pairing with a machine, though, not
you're pairing with a machine and not with another person. And because I'm a big agile advocate, and once I saw what I could do with it, and the first tool I used was actually Codium, and which that turned into Windsurf.
Right. Right.
So I'm a big Windsurf guy, though.
So even in 2022, Codium, what models was it using? We didn't have ChatGPT then, did we?
It was
Might have been 2.0 or something.
It was it was really bad. And actually I had to go back. Well, I finally met the guys, like some of the sales guys from them, and I had to go back and send them my blog because I thought it was much later. And I found the post and I had because once I saw it, and really what I was thinking in my head was purely when you are a coder or even a musician or anything that you want to bounce something off, it is the perfect bounce back, because you could throw an idea at it and it would throw something back at you. And it was getting my mind twisted by going, wow, I could solve a problem different. I could solve a coding problems different. And that's when I started going, and I played with something, it would turn into Open Hands, but when Devon came out, there was Open Devon. So I was using this Open Devon piece that was really, really good. And the funny thing is now the company Devon bought Windsurf. So the two tools that I was using a lot and demoing a lot have come together, which is really crazy. But I just did, believe it or not, it was Wednesday, a demo. I work at a large bank. I did a live demo of agent mode, and it went spectacularly failed. And sometimes it works wonderful, sometimes it doesn't. But we had a very, very large requirements document, and we were just pushing it to the limits. But it's great. I mean, I'm a big fan of it. I'm pushing it. As I said, I write a little bit about it. I write about a lot of things, but I spent a lot of time at work coding up, stuff in vibe coding.
Well, you should meet the guy to your left, who is Darren Oakey from Australia, who is also a fan of vibe coding, who also has written financial software. You're a contract coder now, right, Darren?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I'm working at a small startup, which is a bank at the moment. But yeah,
so you're still in the financial. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have both of you. Anybody else wants to join us? What do they do, Anthony? They raise their hand?
There is a link in live stream. In Discord, the live stream chat, there's a link to join. It's a restream link. Because we're not piping in Discord.
Right. So just so it's not going to the stage. Don't go to the stage. Just click the link and you'll go and you'll be in the restream.
Here's the
for those of you who are asking my blog, obviously it's lrau.com. It should have been obvious.
Nice. And you got that a long time ago, 4letter.com.
Yes, I got that in the 90s.
Yikes. Wow. There it is.
Well, I don't think Alex is coming, so
that would pretty much be the story of my life.
Yeah, there you go.
I will not be wearing the same outfit every day. What? What's wrong with you?
So this goes back to these people who talk about, they wear the same outfit every day so they make less decisions.
Yeah, like Mark Zuckerberg.
Like Mark Zuckerberg, and it goes back to Albert Einstein even further before him. He quoted it. That you're looking about it. My dad passed a year ago, so it's a tribute to him.
So this is Father's Day post. That's great.
Father's Day post. Yeah. So
you look a little bit like your dad. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I look exactly like my dad.
Okay, exactly like your dad. Yeah. Okay. Just grow that beard and you'll be set. Yep.
Yeah. But yes. So I wrote about it, and I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. And there's a bunch of things I was reading about Bruce, and one of the things he talked about is learning how to make better decisions. And I've been working on this because when you take away decisions, what happens is you don't practice on how good at you are making decisions. And after spending a bunch of time wearing the same outfit or not making those decisions does make you slower at making quick decisions. And when you work at a company that has outages or problems and stuff, you need to learn how to make quick decisions. And understanding that problem or understanding making quick decisions is a skill, right? Like anything else. So I wrote about that as something that I've recently discovered that even though I've been doing this for so long, I want to be better at, right?
Nice.
That's what that's about.
I agree. And I don't wear the same outfit twice, but I'm a trained professional, so I can't recommend it.
Coming on, I have my Hawaiian shirts, but mine are stranger.
This is not stranger than this.
Oh yeah, I have the I'm just a Bill Hawaiian shirt.
On Capitol Hill.
That's pretty awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
That is an awesome shirt.
I haven't even looked.
Oh, same thing. Oh god. Samurai cat with a beer.
Samurai cat with a beer. That's probably what the Japanese says. Samurai cat with a beer.
Yeah.
You can always just take a picture and put it in ChatGPT.
That's a good idea. Let me do it right now. I've done that in a Chinese or Japanese restaurant, and it worked quite well. So let's see.
Well, I would have just. It doesn't Google Lens do it also?
Probably, yeah.
But I thought you
but
said
this is an AI show.
Samsung phone.
This is an AI show. Come on.
I thought you studied Chinese at university. Can't you read it?
This might be a little harder because it is pretty calligraphy Japanese. It's not kanji. Okay, use photo. Okay. Translate this. Should I say please? Please.
Of course. You have to.
Who's that joining us? It's Manny. Hi, Manny.
Hey, Leo. How are you?
We're great. The visible calligraphy on your shirt appears to be written in a stylized form of kanji. So I was wrong. Accurately translating calligraphy is quite challenging. Here's what I can deduce. Nothing, in other words. He doesn't understand it. Okay. That was a perplexity. Let's.
I wonder if it's just random things that looks like Japanese characters.
Yeah, well, that's the old joke when you get a tattoo. Is it says, Egg Foo Young, $5. All right, translate. Image upload failed. Try again August 31st. All right, let's ask. This is now ChatGPT. Which model would be best for this? 4.0, right?
4.0, yeah.
All right. Translate, please. Let's see if ChatGPT can do.
03 is also multimodal too, right?
Yeah, I like 03. The text. Oh yeah, it can translate. On the shirt is written in a semi-cursive or cursive. Sosho style of East Asian calligraphy makes precise identification difficult. Based on visible strokes and common forms, the vertical lines appear to resemble Jinfeng Song Shuang in Chinese, which means the golden wind brings refreshing coolness. So that's what it says, all right.
Which exactly fits with the cat on a Godzilla.
It's perfect. The cat is riding the golden wind. Refreshing coolness. Look at that.
Speaking of image,
I like
multimodal with images, I was testing. Let's do a screen share real quick. I was surprised with it was Gamma 320 billion, I think, but like I uploaded one of the thumbnails for Richard's PC build, and it did a good job for its local model.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah, but dark? Like that image was that was the original image, but it did like
that's the original.
Figure out that the image depicts Richard Campbell, thumbnail. Who appears to be recording a video or a podcast.
You're asking what's going on. I was like, I knew it was Richard. Oh, because it says so.
Well, it says Richard. Yeah.
A
partially
that would be
PC,
Richard Campbell doing a PC build
computer with a visible behind him, along with various tools and components associated with PC construction. There is also branding indicating that it's related to Club TWiT.
Benito, did you send me this shirt info? If I could find the ad, I might be able to get a better image of it. So what do we want to talk about today, gentlemen? We've got Larry Gold. We've got Darren Oakey. Who else is in the house? Anybody else? I heard a bloop. Oh, and Manny. That's right.
Yeah.
Good to have Manny in the house. Manny is also a vibe coder.
I do.
In fact, we talked vibe coding last time. We could continue to talk vibe coding since apparently Larry Gold has been doing it since 2022, before there really even was a vibe, man. So was it usable at all, Larry, or was it?
I just was looking at it, going, "This would be so cool if it gets better." And I keep. My problem is I keep thinking it's got to get better, and every time I do something and it fails spectacularly, I'm like, it has to get better.
Yeah.
I mean, you're using Claude Code. I think what I use at home is Claude Code with Kimi 2, which is actually pretty good.
What's Kimi 2? Is that a model?
That's the open source model.
One of the new Chinese models that's really popular.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
There's that, and then GLM 4.5 just came out. That's really
I have not tried that yet.
It's going so quickly. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's hard to keep up.
Are you running that locally or through a service?
No, through OpenRouter.
OpenRouter.
Yep.
So do you have to download it?
No, because you're running it. You just point it to OpenRouter and use OpenRouter and pay them.
Cool.
It's funny because the setup that I sent you is like my work setup. My home setup where I code for myself is in the other room, which is a Mac Mini M4, and that's completely separate.
You have multiple workstations.
Yeah, multiple works. Yeah,
so you're clearly not married.
I'm widowed, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry. How recently?
8 years.
Oh, that's got to be tough. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Well, that means you can take over the rest of the house now. Have you taken over the dining room table yet?
No. I've used the people as my problem is I have no filter when I go shopping. So you have Lisa. I
know a little bit about that. Even though I have Lisa, she refuses to stand in my way. Look, I bought this shirt, didn't I? Now she's threatening to get rid of my shirts, which is problematic. She says she's invited her son upstairs to take his pick of the litter. So you can't. That's this. Anyway.
Although, I mean, I don't know if you guys read the article about, I guess, developers think that vibe coding has gotten worse.
Yeah, I did see that. But I also saw a guy said, I'm not going to have a job in a few months. So you see both sides of that equation, don't you?
Yeah, I would look at it, and my boss and I talk about this a lot. I'm more optimistic that it's about 5 to 10 years out, and he thinks it's a little shorter. I just think it's the quality of the code versus what you have to do. So I think at certain companies, you need definitely a high quality or high scale, but it's going to replace like just CRUD applications, the create, read, update, small mini applications and stuff like that. That it can do very well. But we were doing what's called an LCR or mini LCR calculator, and that's a little more complex. And I think those are the kind of things that you still need an architect, you still need people to design. I think the agent mode, the Claude codes where you have, or what we call the context engineering, that part is a little bit getting better because you're giving it more full requirements, which moves you to waterfall versus agile. If you think about it, because you're now giving it everything at once and then actually to build versus vibe coding, which is more agile, which is I can just read one feature at a time. And that's what I was really lecturing about on Wednesday, which is the difference between vibe and that context engineering and the steps to get, or how we get context engineering better.
I personally think that like software engineering as a trade isn't going to go anywhere. It's just like how my day-to-day as an engineer, what I do is going to change. Like I don't really write code anymore. I'm just guiding these AIs and making sure that like the right code is being written for what I need to happen.
Is it similar to what you'd be if you were a senior team leader? Like you'd have people doing the coding and you'd review it and you'd direct them and steer them. Is it sort of similar to that?
So that might be a better question for Darren specifically. I'm still pretty new in my engineering career, and so I haven't gotten to that level yet.
You already have a team working for you. It just happens to be AI.
Yeah, it just happens to be a computer. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that actually, because when you're a team leader, it's about when you're running a team, it's about building this. It's what Larry said. You're focusing on the design of the whole thing, and in some ways, what I'm getting out of vibe coding is small things can be done easily, but it's still not working well with big projects.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So as a team leader, you're coordinating things that are coming together, and vibe coding still wants to own the whole picture and own the whole idea. And it's not even like I've been doing a lot of coding with. I wrote that DAS Python MCP, and I've been building a lot of things with it. And you find that as it breaks the system apart more, it just doesn't know about the other bits. So it'll do, if you give it the whole picture, it's great. But if you give it a little bit, then it just makes up the APIs that it's going to call, and it just gets lost. So
well, even worse. I mean, it's making up libraries, or I mean, and then people are typo squatting on the library, and it's now inserting malicious code into your Python.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said I look at, and what I keep saying is, let's vibe code as a pair programmer where you're balancing ideas.
Right.
Sometimes it's generating code, sometimes you're generating code, sometimes it's refactoring code, sometimes you're refactoring, but you still have to know something about it. My biggest concern and the things I keep thinking about is, after a generation or 5-10 years, and junior coders slowly whittle away, who's going to be able to look at that code? And is it going to be that COBOL nightmare we have right now, where no one can understand COBOL or some other languages? And I lead a team also, and my job, or part of my job, is I think about these things. And I'm going, okay, I want to get junior people. I got to get them to code, but I got to get them to use the tools and code, but know to or understand what they're writing, right? Versus just write.
Yeah, although I'm not 100% sure I agree with that, in that it's similar to in Morgan, there was a lot of compliance things that we had to deal with, and I kept arguing with people that the more you automate, the easier it is to deal with compliance, because humans are not very good at ticking every box and being disciplined about doing everything. But once you automate it, you can tick every single box. And it's similar with vibe coding, in that one of the things it's really good at is producing documentation and producing deep explanations and code and comments. And so you really can get it to tick every box and come up with absolutely perfect code that obeys every single thing you want to obey. It's in the right format. It's got documentation. It's got comments, and it's got detailed how-to on everything. So I'm not.
But do you spend more time getting it to that point than you would if you just did it yourself? That's the real question.
Yes.
How efficient is that?
Yes and no, because the thing is, like this MCP that I've kept using, now it's a wrapper around. The reason I'm using it is, it'll drive things, so I'm not having to cut and paste anymore, and I can just tell it to do things. But before it checks in, it has to run. It's only for Python at the moment, so it runs Pylint. And then it runs a validation that every coder produced has tests. And then it runs all the tests and checks that it all works. So every little change, even though you're doing changes incrementally and one change at a time, everything passes. Every test I can throw at it, and it even has to have new tests thrown in. And as well as that, it also, once it finishes the test, it starts a change, does all these things, and then ends the change, and it commits it to Git. And when it commits it to Git, it has a full change log. So I can actually look at the history, see everything was done, and everything ticks every box I can think of. And I'm constantly thinking of new validations to add. And so, and yeah, in the MCP, like in Claude or whatever, it iterates a little longer, but I don't care. It just takes a little longer. Do it.
You can go to bed. Yeah.
But the thing is,
You're trusting that the tests that it writes are cover all the requirements, right? And that's as again, is the compliance people are going to ask those questions, and still you sign your code that's going in production, not the AI. And as I said, I think it's still going to take a while before larger companies say okay. As I said, smaller companies, and I'm waiting for the first or second, one man, company that does millions or 100 millions in sales, some app or something that comes up. I'm sure it's around the corner, right?
I got a crazy question. So this seems to me there's an analog here to designing humanoid robots. We keep trying to make robots that look like us. And it seems like maybe we're trying to get AI coding to look like human coding. Is it conceivable that an AI is hindered by that? And it feels like it's a natural thing for a machine to control the machine, right? Maybe we're making it put in this human understandable layer that actually hurts it. It makes it less efficient, less useful. Of course, we need some way to validate what it's doing. But
that's the thing. I think it's that we need to understand it at the moment.
Yeah. Well, but
hold on. Did Microsoft have two AI servers actually create their own language and started talking to themselves within themselves?
That's right.
Leo, I don't think that's far-fetched. And I think if you ask AI to create a better language, it may come up with a better language. Then again, humans also wrote Perl, and Perl was unreadable for some people. So
Perl is not that bad. I learned to read it. You can learn to read it. You just don't want to learn to read it. That's the problem.
Somewhere in the attic, I have the same book you have, Common Lisp, because I had to learn Lisp as one of the languages also.
A great language. Do not knock Lisp. I have I have a shelf that's all the Lisp books. That's one of the advantages. I can't even hold half the Python books. The shelf is bending. It's breaking already. So the advantage of Lisp is it hasn't changed in 40 years, and so it's possible to know.
But as I said, is I do think if you ask it to create a language, it probably would at some point.
Well, and I wonder if there might be a better way for it to talk. Well,
I don't know if it's related, but one I don't know, hack or prompt hack is asking, turning your prompt into JSON format, especially for image generation for copying cells, and it seems to take that pretty easily and understand it. So.
I read somebody saying that they took for Notebook LM that they were getting much better results converting the PDFs to plain text. That Notebook LM struggled with the PDFs a little bit.
That makes sense.
It feels like we're making the AI unnecessarily jump through hoops. I understand we need an interface to it, and that's fine. But it might be more efficient if we didn't make it right all those tests.
Yeah, but everything's based on training on.
This is just blue sky cookie stuff. I mean, it doesn't. It's silly.
But human language has evolved also. I mean, we've made shortcuts, we've made emojis, we've actually improved our language, right? And it helps us communicate better or express ourselves better. Why can't machines at some point, understand how to do the same thing?
Well, to tell the truth, one of the reasons Common Lisp is so great is because you can make domain-specific languages that don't look anything like Lisp, and give you much more power. It's kind of like Forth, where you pretty soon you're speaking your own dialect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like Forth.
I love Forth. Yeah.
Not so sold on Common Lisp.
Well, it's okay.
Too many brackets.
I know. I keep working on you guys.
I'm on the Lisp side. I had to learn it, so.
I love it. But I like Emacs too. So.
Huh?
What do I know? What do I know?
I had to learn Pascal also in college. So
I learned Pascal back in the Mac in the early days of the Mac. That's how you would code for Mac OS.
Yeah.
Turbo Pascal 1 on CPM.
Turbo Pascal, yes.
Turbo Pascal, awesome, awesome.
Tell you how far back it was. A Franklin Ace 1000 I had, the Apple clone.
I had a Franklin Ace.
Oh, Darren, you and I got to get together. You and I.
That was the computer for people who couldn't afford an Apple II. They would get it was like a fake Apple, basically. But it was a 6502. It was, it was.
I also had an Osborne one.
An early clone. There's our friend Aunt Pruitt.
Hey, Aunt.
Nice to see you.
It's not replacing developers.
Maybe MCP is the first step in that, isn't it? Storm says is kind of maybe that's what MCP is the AI talking to other AIs. That kind of is, isn't it? And I'm sure it's all in JSON though, right?
Yeah, but it's human. That's human. That's human talk to
Still human readable.
Yeah.
Well, MCP isn't really JSON. It uses JSON's just the format that it just makes a standard like a standard in, standard out server which uses JSON objects, but it declares it basically starts up and says, "Are you there?" It says yes, and then it sends a command saying either list tools, list prompts, or there's one other one. But the list tools just comes back and says, basically in words, these are the various tools I have available, and then from then on it can just call them. And
so it's just formatting, basically, is the JSON. It's not.
So it sends a JSON request for a tool, but all the understanding of it is in words.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. We're making these brilliant machines use words.
Well, LLMs work in words. Yeah.
I guess that's the point. That is a good point. Is that's what they've learned. I mean, they speak tokens, not words. So that's a significant difference.
But it is a fascinating idea that you could train an LLM or train a thing in code, not in words. That would come out with something very different.
Yeah, I wonder if you could have an LLM communicate with other LLMs in tokens.
Yeah, right? I bet you that's what the Microsoft thing was doing.
Because that would be incredibly efficient for both of them.
Much more efficient. That's right. I don't know if it would fix any problems, but my gut is that it would. That some of the problems are trying to turn these tokens into words. That's why finding the number of R's in strawberry is so hard, because it doesn't know the word strawberry. It doesn't know what an R is. It's not. It's all tokens.
Did you talk about the story on IM?
Let me see. AI models can send subliminal messages. So this week. This whole thing going on is now. Why is it these AIs are getting so creepy and evil? And actually, I think it's just lost. It's context. It's a context problem, right? They get so many words in the context, they start to.
But there was. I don't recall all the details, but it was pretty much saying that because everything's like tokenized, it's hard to
you can't tell what they're doing.
You can't tell what one model is sending off to another.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to anthropomorphize these guys and say, well, they're actually talking to each other now. It's where it's almost done for us.
The other thing people always miss the P in the GPT and stuff, in the pre-trained, and that as much as you think, I very much believe that there's a level of understanding, because certain things are just impossible without a model of the world, which I translate into understanding. They need to have modeled it. It's not just predictive reasoning. You can prove that instantly, because you can get it to produce things that it can't have been in its test set.
It has a model.
Yeah, it's got a model. But what it doesn't have is any concept of change or memory. You can simulate memory with some RAG and the fact that you're pumping in the conversation every time. So there's a loop. But the thing is, underneath, the model cannot change, even in the slightest bit. Those weights are absolutely fixed. And to me, that means you can't be said to be thinking in any way or shape or form, because any sort of thinking or any sort of learns. It involves from step to step growing, and these things can't grow.
They don't learn really.
No concept.
Could they be made to learn?
Well, but like what Darren's saying, it's like it's a fixed thing. There's only compute for every token generated, so it's not like you and me where we're just sitting here and thinking. Like it only progresses for each generation of new token.
They're just a glorified Markov chain, is all it is.
Yeah.
What is happening?
And even could it be made?
Somebody joining
I don't
us?
know. This is where the the Jan LeCun type thing of LLMs won't get us there. Is that it's not obvious that the current model could be made to learn, because training, even any change in the LLM, even though there have been a couple of papers I've seen about new styles that it can adjust their weights over time and things like this, but none of them are in practices, or I mean, none of them are real as far as I can tell. And at the moment, training takes months, so there isn't.
Yeah.
With the current model, there isn't a way that you could make it to actually learn.
So you couldn't have the weights modify themselves in real time based on input?
There's been a couple of papers I've seen of people announcing models that do that, but I haven't.
Because that's post-training, right? That's a secondary stage in the pipeline.
Yeah, but the whole training thing, it's so stochastic, and it really does take so long. It's almost completely random. And there are, if you look at the way genetic algorithms work, they're quite different in that they take, working stuff. You've got a working set of weights or something, and you combine it with another working set of weights. And so hopefully your children or whatever are working. But training is making almost random, like it back propagates errors. So you go through, you expect this, you got this, so you have a certain amount of error, and you just push it backwards through the model. That changes weights, but then it changes everything else, and so it's just bouncing up and down until hopefully you stabilize on something. And that's the thing. In theory, you could be adjusting weights to minimize errors every time, but in practice, every change you make could change everything else, so you do get worse before you get better. And as far as even though I've seen papers about people talking about dynamic weights and ways of doing it, I've never, to my knowledge, nobody's using it. So it obviously doesn't work yet.
It seems like every time they let things learn as they progress, it seems to have really bad consequences.
Yes. That's right. The model collapses is probably what happens.
Well, the hardest thing for humans to do is to unlearn something, right?
Right.
And I think the models are almost the same way. So if you treat it bad, it doesn't know how to unlearn that bad thing. And humans, you're going to find the same with piano. You find a bad habit, you're going to be stuck with the bad habit, right?
Yeah. This Futurism article comes from a study, a preprint that came out on Tuesday between Truthful AI and AI Safety Research Group in Berkeley and Anthropic. This is the Anthropic said the surprising phenomenon of subliminal learning. One large language model picking up quirks or biases from another by ingesting generated text that appears totally unrelated. Mm-hmm. So it's based on the English text that we're reading. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we did do this story actually, Anthony. In fact, we showed some of the text that it was completely benign text, but it was
somehow
completely misaligned the receiving model.
But I think that can definitely happen, and probably it's definitely happening. But the whole idea that there's an intent by another model to do that.
It's not intent, no.
But
we know
possible.
We can't impute intent to AI ever, and that's a big, problem, because that's what the uninitiated often do. Yeah. It's as Steve Gibson said, AI, when it says "I want a lollipop," isn't really expressing intent because there's no I, there's no want. And actually, there's really no lollipop. So the whole thing is unrelated to when a human says, I want a lollipop. What is, we're getting that blooping. We don't know where it's coming from.
Someone might be clicking on the link and closing it. I don't know. But it shouldn't be on the stream. It's just for us.
It's just us? It's not on the stream? Okay.
Yeah.
Should we show off something? Okay. I got two things.
Who wants to show off some?
Aerophorofo says it's him.
How's your app going, Manny? Are you making progress with it?
Yeah, it's going great. I mean, I've actually been working on a 1.0.1 with some bug fixes and
nice.
Adding some little helpful tooltips and stuff around.
Are you going to push that to the App Store?
I am. Yeah. And a lot of the cool feature additions that I've been adding have actually been the idea of Claude and Claude Code. So that's been cool. Actually,
really, it's coming up with new ideas for you.
Yeah, new features and all kinds of stuff. So it's been actually a really cool experience. And,
nice.
I started taking a dive into VR apps earlier this week, and I want to build basically a VR app that would take a code base and lay it out for you in 3D space around you. So then you could see how your code is interacting.
You could live in the code.
Yeah, the relationships between different parts of your code base, and then the different structure and shape of the objects that move between things. And, I think that'd be really cool, especially given the way things are moving and the fact that AI is writing a lot of this code. I think it'd be really helpful for people to be able to interact with the things that they're working with. Yeah.
That's actually, Apple was saying that they wanted people to use Siri to vibe code for the Vision Pro. Talk about a stretch.
Yeah, I've been working, actually, one of the things I've been working on for my app was working on the Siri integration, and that just does not work very well. You know? So
there seems to be an impedance mismatch between the way Siri was designed to work and modern AI chat. They just don't. They're so different.
I think the way Siri has to take in things is very specific, and I just want to talk to it in natural language. But I think it's hey Siri, I need you to do this using this app or whatever. Yeah. And then you'll get a little further. But.
There is a guy on Reddit who is vibe coding a Vision OS app using Cursor, and he's got a little demo of it. I wonder if this is your idea of living in the code. Let me see. I asked the AI agent to gradually adding features, a sword to the user's right hand and multiple swords. Huh. This is more just a video of him talking to Claude. Oh, no, now he's going to run the app. Now he's in the Vision Pro.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were...
Yeah.
We can pull that up.
Look, he's got a sword.
My bad.
Who are you?
Where's your video? There it is. There we go.
Yeah, let's go. I'll scooch back a little bit. The sword is modeled by the AI. Yeah, notice it's not in his hand. Oh, there you go. See, real world knowledge. Who needs it? Nope, still floating over the hand. That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's a lot further than some people would get without any help,
Absolutely. Yeah. Right.
Well, there's a definition of good enough,
Yeah.
Right.
There's a, perfection is the enemy of good, right?
Well, this isn't even good, so I think we're okay here. But you know what? He's making progress, and look at writing Vision something for the Vision Pro, a 3D thing for the Vision Pro is probably pretty difficult. So
well, that's the thing that I find, because obviously I've coded forever, and there's a lot of things that I find that I can code myself quite easily, but where I find this vibe coding to, I'm just going, it's swearing and going holy crap type thing, is when I'm doing something that I don't understand. I've been playing with 3D printing recently, and I'm not that good at 3JS, and I don't know anything about CAD programs and everything. And I asked it to code me up because I've been getting more into 3D printing and writing code to produce things. And so I finally got annoyed by the IDE, and I asked it to build me an IDE, and I just got an IDE, and the amount of time it would have taken me to learn all that crap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with the TWiT API. I just said, here, read the docs and here's a key, have fun. And it connected. It's pretty impressive because, I've been thinking for about, I guess it's 5 years now about doing something with the API. But I just never get around to it. And so, yeah, this is a perfect example, something you don't understand. Yeah. So what is this we're looking at, Darren?
So this is a CAD program I've written that allows me, I vibe coded, that allows me to type a change in here. I think it's probably broken at the moment, so I won't. But it'll change the code. But I can just change values like, say, 25 and say.
That's really cool. So instead of using a pen or a mouse to do this, you can do it all in text.
Huh. Bug. So,
what a surprise.
Yeah. But
what do you say to the study that came out last week that people are vibe coding? It takes them 10% more time than just writing it themselves.
I think that's potentially true in some cases, but it's things like this. Like if they're studying people at work, and if you're just doing your work this way, there's a lot of back and forward with vibe coding, and I think that could easily be true. But something like this, where if I say, give me this, render the STL in JavaScript, produce it in Python, export it to a 3MF, there's so many things that I don't know in there.
Right.
Getting the framework out, it takes me like 1% of the time that it would have taken to do it. Then making changes, maybe it's taking longer from then on. But it's also easier because I can go and do other things.
Right.
And just have it in the background. But definitely for like exploring a concept, it's way faster.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah,
From
that's
my
sort of
non-coding stuff, I feel like I don't really save time using AI, but the end result is usually higher than what it would have been without it.
At least in the case you were talking about, Darren, it's what is saving you is reading the documentation.
exactly. And also, if you're doing something new, I always find working with a new API, the trickiest bit is things like getting the authentication right, like just getting started. Yeah. And you can jump over that hoop and immediately have something working and then play with it. So that initial block of, I don't know what I'm doing, just goes away.
It would be interesting to hear how many of these people aren't working with this stuff a lot. Are they new to it or are they experienced? Because I think that divide might be pretty severe, because I know it doesn't save me any time with anything I've tried with artwork, because I'm just like, no, this isn't at all what I'm thinking about. But if I had no idea, that would probably be a very different question. So that 10%, I'd be curious how it breaks down to new users versus experienced users. That would be interesting.
Joe, tell us about, so Joe, as most of you know by now, is a very accomplished Photoshop artist. Ozone Art Foundry is his website. But you are using AI tools to create images, not the kind of images you would create yourself, right? It's not a replacement for you drawing it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's very limited because I don't find a lot of utility in it. Every time I try to, I guess it depends on what you define as AI tools too, because there's two things in Photoshop now. There's generative fill and there's content-aware fill. And I still find content-aware fill is 80% more useful than anything that generative fill has ever done. So I'll try it, but it almost never is what I can just do myself faster. So I tend to go back to the one that uses what's within the image. It tends to get it more accurate. But again, I know what I kind of have something in my mind to use, but And a couple of times I've used the thing that expands the background. That, if the background is simple enough, works fairly well, but any type of complexity just throws it completely into chaos, and it just starts creating really strange, interesting things. You could ask friend of the show, Ant Pruitt, about some of the stuff I've generated from some suggestions he had, and there was really, really weird stuff that was trying to describe him doing things, and it was not getting any of it right. Hilariously. But it just, for me, I think it's so limited. And I'm sure if I want to pay $200 a month, which one? Oh, the Harmonize. Yeah, the Harmonize thing looks interesting. I haven't tried it yet. But that looks potentially the biggest improvement they've made in a while, certainly from the examples they gave. But I'll tell you, as somebody who has watched every Max presentation they've done, and they always tell you it's going to do all these great things, and then you put it to practice, and will it harmonize properly most of the time? Not even all the time. I'm not going to say it has to be perfect all the time, but is it going to pass the 50% mark? If it does, I'll be impressed, because so far nothing that they've come up with has passed that mark for me. I'm obviously not a user who just needs something quickly. I have an idea of what I want, so it is a different requirement for me. But that has been okay. That's not using
you did this
AI.
for Ant, right?
I did that. That's literally a transparency from a shirt. That is no AI tool whatsoever. If I asked it to make that, I can tell you, I did try one, I think, like that, and it warped him so badly. I was like, this isn't even a human being.
Oh, so you just put a transparency on a blank shirt. That's all.
Oh, yeah, that was an easy one. And did a little shading here.
By the way, for those who don't know Ant, he hates musicals and show tunes.
Yeah, tell him to post one of the AI not even hallucinations, one of the AI things I generated. I'll let him pick one and wait till you see what those are.
Ant, fire away. give us something from your collection of weird stuff. There's a lot. Incidentally, Gemini 2.5 Deep Think just came out now. If you are a Gemini Ultra subscriber, which costs, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars a month, you can try the same model that got a gold medal in the International Math Olympiad. Just came out moments ago.
I went to try.
Here's a quick example of that Harmonize thing where it relit.
Harmonize?
Yeah, so like here's
which is before, which is after.
This is before. Sure. I just cut him. This is just Richard cut out in front of this background. And then when you ask it to harmonize,
you put it into the. I see. So it changes the lighting, so it looks like
it fits like with the rest of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And see, if I did that, I would be dissatisfied with it. I'm not saying that means it's bad. I'm just saying I would sit there and go, that's way too harsh of lighting. But that's me.
It's better than
that. I'm
that.
nitpicky that way.
Yeah. I mean, but then you could also change that opacity and just kind of mix it in a bit or whatever.
It's usable.
It gives you a starting point. It's not the final.
Yeah. I mean, it's more cohesive than it's just the guy cut out in front of a,
No, and that's what I mean about, this is what I mean about that 10% is I wonder the people who say, well, it ended up wasting me more time. I bet most of these people who responded were people who do this, the type of work they were trying to use it for a lot. In which case, most people, whether it's coding, artwork, write anything, they have an 80% or so idea of what they want in their head. And if that tool can't match it or get really close, they're going to say, you've wasted my time. I'll just do it myself. Whereas a newcomer or somebody inexperienced, they'll say, oh, wow, you got me 80% of the way there. Oh, that's great. I'm satisfied because I couldn't have done this otherwise. So that's that gulf that I think, because I bet the respondents are probably mostly people who use this stuff a lot. That'd be my guess. I don't know that, but I'd bet a little bit of money on it, not a ton.
I did poll my team, and I told them regularly about how much better they're using or what are they using it for. And there's a couple things I'll say is vibe coding is a skill. You do have to learn how to prompt and you get better at it.
It's a different skill, but it's a skill. Yeah.
It's a skill. And once they got better, they found things useful. I can also say is they found writing tests much more useful than writing code. They would rather write code and have the AI write tests. So they were thinking it's helping them a lot time because not only is it hard to write tests, but it is long and boring and monotonous, and you're asking it for random numbers or this or that and functionality. So I think depending on who you ask, and I think probably top of the line coders may hate it because I think it's almost a little bit of a fear. But I would say the junior and the mid coders, they probably, once they get good at it, I think they'll find some improvements. And whether it's just writing tests, writing comments, refactoring, or some piece that'll help them, as opposed to that giant step to even get there.
I use it for everything anymore. I mean, so today I actually pushed out a deploy to prod, and one of the services that I touched ended up going down after my code change. And I was like, oh no, I don't know what's going on here. And so I was able to navigate through Datadog, grab a bunch of screenshots, grab a bunch of logs, slap them in the Claude Code and say, hey, go find my problem. And
I think that's a perfect use of it, frankly.
It sure did. Yeah,
and that's something that it's either going to work or it's not going to work. There's not going to be a question of whether it worked. It's like, well, you found it, or whatever you found was useless, or it didn't find it at all. But I mean,
it found everything, and it was like, I think you have an infrastructure issue. You should scale up some resources, and that was, perfect, no problem.
Here's a good example from Blind Wiz converting from C++ into Rust. It took a project which would have been months to do, just a few days of work. Yeah. So that's probably the kind of language stuff that it can do pretty well, I would say.
Oh, it's really good converting, and not just converting from language to language, because that's not something you need to do very often. But more commonly, I find converting from a library to another library, like here, for instance, in Python, like you're using Flask or something and suddenly you decide, I wanted async, so I want to use Scenic. So you just say, rewrite this exactly the same in Scenic. And
that's a great use. That's a really great use.
Later, yeah.
Because it's basically mechanical.
Well, even more is upgrading from a version to a version. For Java versions, for library versions, it's really useful for that. And we do a lot of that. We have a tool internally that actually helps us do it automatically, right? So, and Angular is probably one of the worst because it breaks stuff often when it goes version to version. So having that automated, you're laughing, Manny, so I'm sure you've been hit by it. But yeah, so version to version has been great. I mean, I think you add on. Leo, you actually mentioned my company because we actually built a tool internally that converted like Perl to Python as well as mainframe to stuff. Yeah. And that was another team that I'm fortunate to work with. I'm not on my team, but I was helping them on problems that they need to solve to get it to work.
Well, I discovered this really early on. I mean, probably GPT 3.5 in translating grep into understanding what a complex grep function was doing, or vice versa, writing for me the pattern that I needed. It's very good at that. So it makes sense that these things that are good, that it's good at with language, it would be natural to do.
Can I ask a philosophical question?
This is a link. If you're in the Discord, you're not going to want to type this in. But Error 404 did the TWiT API access in 6 different languages in about an hour, which is an interesting project.
Yeah. But it's a good use because, like, I think things that are very well defined and not, I would say, simple, but not very long, because you have a context window, it's very efficient at.
Yeah. He did it in Java, JavaScript. He did Lisp just for me, PHP, Python, and Ruby. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see what it's doing. Yeah. Oh, it's starting from scratch, installing Lisp. Okay, that's the beginning of it. This is cool. This is great. Yeah. I'll do it. Let me put it in a language that other people understand.
No, leave it at Lisp.
I like Lisp. Don't make fun of my Lisp. Oh God. Okay, Python. That's the only one I could tolerate. By the way, it doesn't tell you how to install Python. If you don't have Python installed, what the hell are you talking about here, dude? That's cool. That's cool. And did it write the documentation too, 404? That's pretty neat. Yeah.
Actually, writing documentation, things like I used to never bother putting my stuff up just because I couldn't be bothered.
I don't want to explain this to you, tyros.
Well, it's just a pain in the ass, but recently or a while ago, I just made a tool called Publish, which literally does it goes. If I make a tool, I just say publish blah, and it will go and create a Git repository if it's not there. Most of this is not AI things, but then it'll go and use AI to create to read through the thing, create a README for it, explain how to use it, and then it'll pull the README and go to one of the image generators, make it like a banner image to add to the README, and then it uploads the whole thing. And
it's pretty good at that kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So I just say publish this, and so now every time I make a tool, I just publish it, and this is why all sorts of things are appearing on my GitHub. Just because
I love all your documentation, Darren.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here's a question from our chat room. It's the motion.
Yeah.
Anybody experienced using Copilot and Power Apps to create a plan or an app?
I will soon, not yet, where we just got access to it, and I have to start building something. So
Power Apps is a low code interface
Microsoft.
to Microsoft stuff.
Yeah.
I would expect Copilot to know it pretty well. And that seems like it'd be a good use. Yeah.
I was going to say one of the first apps I wrote for myself is we use like Jira internally to track stuff. I had to collect all the Jiras for release, send it to an AI, and generate release notes. So I didn't have to do that. And then a summary for the status reports for months. So I don't write status reports anymore. I haven't for about a year and a half.
Patrick Delahanty, when we designed our webpage, wouldn't it have been nice to have an AI to write all those user stories? Jeez Louise, I was so sick of those. So sick of those, I tell you.
When performance reviews come around, I just pretty much pull all my Jira tickets and stuff into an LLM and say,
Tell me how I did.
Yeah.
Can you go to the stand-up for me? Because I'm busy right now. Oh, BlindWiz actually pays for the $200 Claude Max. That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so do I now.
Claude's good. Claude Code is pretty amazing, I have to say, even though it just screwed up my Obsidian, but that was my fault. Yeah. I just used a canned prompt that didn't do what I wanted to do, but it gave me some ideas about how I might be able to use it in the future. Yeah.
But also, like, there's MCP tools too. So, like, if you want to, if let's say you're chatting to ChatGPT and you want to say refer to something in my Obsidian, you could probably do that pretty easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wrote one. I wrote one that I use.
That's what that was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote an MCP for Obsidian, which is really neat. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to use, there's something called opencode.ai, which is an open source version of Claude Code, and you can put your own model if you're worried about connecting to it. And actually, that one also go to OpenRouter also, and it's actually really, really good because I use that sometimes between that and Claude Code and Windsurf.
Interesting.
But that one, there's some guy, and I wish I had the link, has a leaderboard, and that's been actually second or third in the leaderboard.
Wow.
Claude Code is always first right now.
Open Code. Look at that.
I love the website because it's classic.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. That matches my Matrix background behind me. That's awesome.
So
8-bit website.
Yeah.
But I must say, for me, it's all about I use these things so much, and one of the things is I don't want dynamic pricing because it's so easy I've made a few mistakes that have hit me with very large pricing. So needing a fixed price, this is why I was interested in the local model so much, because you don't have an ongoing cost. But MCP has allowed us to sort of invert that a little bit and use a fixed cost thing like Claude with dynamic with your own stuff. And so I've been finding myself using the local models a lot less because I can use Claude Chat to drive all my MCPs.
Have any of you run up against the new Anthropic limits on Claude Code?
No.
You pay enough.
I was using Kimi 2 to avoid that.
Yeah. I've got to try Kimi. I'll be trying that later. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm on
going to wrap up all this weekend.
I'm on the Claude, the $200 Claude plan. Sorry, and I can run I was able to run 4 to terminals simultaneously without.
Jeez.
And yeah.
Yeah, I didn't check how much it cost me to screw up my Obsidian. I don't really want to know, to be honest. So
see, that'd be a show title. I don't know.
How much did it cost to screw up my Obsidian? Huh? We are going to wrap it up because we've come to the end of our segment, and I have to get ready for dinner with Sam Abul-Samad, who's in town with his wife. I'm excited. Okay. Yeah.
That's cool.
We have a good twit coming up on Sunday. I hope you all come by for that. And if you're watching the live stream, because we do stream these to the public everywhere, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, X.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, Kick. But if you're watching one of those free streams, two things you should know. One, once we end, it's gone, and only the club members can access this for the next 30 days in the Club TWiT feed. But Anthony, do we then put the old ones out after a month on YouTube? Okay.
Yep.
Where do those go?
Our main YouTube channel. There's a playlist called
YouTube.com/twit.
Club
There's
TWiT
a playlist.
also.
Okay. So, for instance, you could see last month's now, or not. No, not because it was July 11th. So you could see 2 months ago now. Of course, the easiest way around that, if you're already paying $200 for Claude, for crying out loud, give us $10 a month. I think you get some value out of what we do here. All the shows, ad-free versions of the shows, access to the Discord, access to events like this. I think the club is a lot of fun, and even if we weren't getting paid, I'd probably do it anyway.
And it won't fudge up your Obsidian, so you're safe.
And it will not. It will not do that either. I'm sorry, I swore. I apologize. That's one thing. As club members, you get an unexpurgated version of all our programming. Thank you to all of our viewers. It's great to get Larry Gold into one of these. We'll get you back soon, I hope.
Yeah.
You'll see him in the club as LRAU, Laurentium Gold. Manny, always great to see you. Tell us again the name of your iOS app that you vibe coded.
Nudge Note.
Nudge Note is in the App Store now.
In the App Store now.
He actually got it in the App Store.
Ones you love. Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
I've already sent out 3 birthday text reminders from this app, so I love it.
It's great. It nudges you to do the things you're supposed to do. Thanks to Darren Oakey, who is the actually, I think Larry has just taken your title of the original vibe coder. Sounds like he's been doing it longer than anyone with the original Codium. But Darren is also a very accomplished vibe coder, and the fact that he has an MCP for Obsidian is damn impressive.
Yeah.
And uses it every day, so it's actually working. That. Yeah. Are you going to share that at any point, or is it too personal?
It's
on GitHub.
It's on GitHub, so you can download it. And
should I install it?
Yes, because it's not going to screw it up. Because it's read only.
Oh, it just gives you ideas and hints.
No. What it does is just it just indexes it in such a way that makes it easy to search. So it's awesome. Only pulling out of Obsidian. It doesn't.
So all it's really doing is it's an. Oh, my microphone just broke. I guess I'm handheld for the rest of the show. It's good we're over. It's a. Did you see my shirt?
Stupid Claude Max.
Did you see my shirt? All right. Thank you, Darren. I will go check it out. What's your GitHub?
I'll ping it on the thing. It's
ping it on the thing. And Joe Esposito, who is not a vibe coder but is a very accomplished graphic artist. You'll see him in the club with his amazing creations all the time. Did I get everybody? And of course, thank you, Anthony Nielsen, for setting this up. Next week, we are going to be doing 2 events at this time. We have Stacy's Book Club. This is How You Win the Time War, which if you haven't read, you still have time to read because it's a short book and it is excellent. I highly recommend it. We'll have a lot of fun with that. Are you reading it now? What do you think?
I'm almost done. It's great. In fact, I'm drawing something because of something.
Nice.
Which I will have done for the book club. So I can
that's awesome.
Because there was such a striking image from it that I was like, I have to draw this. So I'm loving it. It's great.
To be fair, it's at first I didn't like it much. I thought, I don't get it. But you really get engaged. By the end of it, you're going, wow, you're rooting for these guys. It's really amazing.
It builds really well. So, I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun. And then right after that, Chris Marquardt's photo segment, or his monthly photo time, classic is the image
prompt for this this next month, so you still have a week to get a classic image up, and we'll see you next Friday for those 2 club events. And thank you, Darren, for your MCP. I shall download it now. What is DAZ? D-A-Z? Is that?
It's a typical shortening. Australia always shortens things. So if your name is Sharon, you're Shaz,
Shaz, as long as it's not Dag, I'm okay with it.
So Darren turns into Dazza or Daz.
Oh, that you're Daz. I love it. I'm gonna call you Daz from now on. I like it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Always fun to see members of the club. I should just spend more time here. I really have a great time. I came in about 45 minutes early to demonstrate me screwing up Obsidian. It was so much fun.
That was a fun part of the show.
We'll see y'all next time. Thank you for joining us. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.